Hello, Charles Van Morgan in the morning.
Yes, sir. Where were you on that day? 613 Metal Lane, Knoxville, Tennessee, about 60 miles. Why were you there? I originally didn't want to go there because when I...
Sir, why? Not what you felt or how you felt about going. Why? Listen to the question and be responsive, please.
Your Honor, am I allowed?
No, you were not allowed to explain or otherwise without asking the court for permission, and there's no need to explain why you were at the house.
I was at the house to settle an ongoing dispute with Tammy Goodrich and to try to settle the estate.
What, if anything, occurred at that time?
I went in late because I had not intended to be there.
Sir, you have just given me an answer that I've already told you is not relevant to me. Did anything of note happen that day? You being late is not of note. Why you may have been late or how you felt about being there is not of note. Please be responsive to the questions.
May I ask you something, Your Honor?
Yes?
I'm being sued in court.
Yes, sir. You have an attorney to represent you who is asking questions. Please answer the questions.
Can I finish my question to you, sir?
Yes.
I'm being sued into court.
What's your question, sir? That's not a question. Are you asking if you're sued?
I lost the opportunity to defend myself.
And yes, here's my answer. You have an attorney. He's asking you questions. You're not being responsive. If you are not responsive, the court will not rely on your testimony, will not consider it. The manner and demeanor in which you testify and your response to the questions help affect your credibility, sir. If you have no credibility with me, I will not fight for you. I am trying to sell you what will help me get to the merits of this case. I don't care about the estate dispute. I care about the events and the circumstances I heard on that tape. That's the issue I'm trying to think, and the only thing that is of concern to me. I'm not sure your attorney's picked up on that based on my comments and questions yet, and I'm certain that nobody else has testified has picked up on that, but that's the only thing I can do anything about today. Next question,
There are no
Counsel.
further questions on the call, please. Thank you.
Are you certain you have no questions based on my ruling with regard to his responsiveness on his first two questions? They may be relevant proof, Counsel. I don't want you not to question him. I just want him to answer responsibly and not to tell me what he thinks I need to know. You have a job and you're trained to do this. He has hired you. He should rely on you to do your job.
Mr. Morgan, you've heard the tape. Did you threaten the petitioner or either?
Yes, sir.
Where were you on that day?
613
Okay.
Metal Lane, Knoxville, Tennessee, about 60 miles.
The judge in that case, this is Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Thank you for joining. The judge in that case is saying that he knows the case before I even have a chance to explain it. And the reason I played this tape is a popular tactic of the government to, when you're speaking the truth, is to discredit you. So when I try to explain myself in their courtrooms, their rogue courtrooms, the judge is trying to discredit me. He won't even let me defend myself. And when my attorney tries to defend me because he won't let me answer questions, he tries to discredit my attorney. So discredit. I'll tell you why that's important in just a minute. So their judge in their courtroom by the governor of the state of Tennessee, because I was running for governor against the governor at this time, has got their courtroom set up to discredit me. And that's exactly what he did. He won't even let me answer questions in the courtroom to defend myself. I didn't ask to be in the courtroom. They drugged me in the courtroom. They drugged me in the courtroom and said, shut up and take your punishment. We don't appreciate you running against the governor. That's what they're doing right here. I mean, it's right live on tape. And let me show you some more stuff here. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. We're going to show you some more video of this rogue judge in the courtroom, and I'll explain to you why it's important here in just a minute. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Thank you for joining me. We started early to get the morning crowd, and we're going to talk about what's going on, what's relevant in the news today. So thank y'all for showing up. So thank y'all for showing up. Let me show you the other video of this courtroom. Now there's a lot of it that they won't show you that happened before this to discredit me and for the judge to get a ruling. He threatened to put my witness in jail. The judge literally threatened to put my witness in jail. You can tell he won't even let me defend myself. And I'll tell you why that's important. Let me show you this other. And the appeals courts are set up to defend them. You can look at this on part of this on my YouTube page if you want to look it up. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. We're going to talk about a little corruption by people in the government. Now the government is good. I'm not against the government. I'm not against government. We need government. Got to have government. But what we have now is a failure to communicate because the government thinks they can do anything they want, and they do. And we need to stop them from doing that and take over our government. And listen, this is what they want me to say because they want me to say something violent. Take over our government at the voting booths. At the voting booths. So here's another video of that judge.
Where were you on that day? 613 Meadow Lane, Knoxville, Tennessee, at 96 to 96. Why were you there? Originally, I didn't want to go there because of an
Sir, why? Not what you felt or how you felt about going. Why? Listen to the question and be responsive, please.
Your Honor, am I allowed
No, you are not allowed to explain or otherwise without asking the court.
So I'm being sued into court, and I'm not allowed to defend myself. In a courtroom, you should have wide variety, wide range, wide leniency. When you're being dragged into court, I didn't ask to be in there. That judge forced me to be in there in front of him, and somebody else sued me into court wrongfully, and I'll explain that. And I'm not even allowed to answer. That's like a Russian court. That's Judge McMillan right down here at the Baumgardner Courthouse. The Russian court in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, I'm saying that. Baumgardner Courthouse. Judge McMillan, a rogue judge. And they get elected using churches. I'm just saying, using our Christian churches. Not Christianity is a great thing, but they're getting elected using our churches.
Permission, and there's no need to explain why you were at the house.
Yeah, there is.
I was at the house to settle an ongoing
Okay, let's see here.
dispute with Tammy Goodrich. Try to
Fred
settle.
Goodrich.
What notice anything occurred at the time?
Went in late. Intended to be there.
Sir, you have just given me an answer that I've already told you is not relevant to me. Did anything of note happen that day? You being late is not of note. Why you may have been late or how you felt about being there is not of note. Please be responsive to the questions.
Now, how does he know that me being late was not relevant? How does he know that? He won't let me defend myself. It was very relevant. It was very, very relevant. But he won't let me say that. He won't let me defend myself. That's their courtrooms where they drag you in and accuse you of civil offenses, and they won't even let you explain. The reason why it was relevant to why I was late is because I was accused of physically blocking someone, and that's not what happened. When they were saying let her out on the videotape, they were talking about me. I was late and I was the last one in the driveway, and I was blocking everybody in the driveway because of how I arrived there. So it was relevant, but he wouldn't let me explain that, would he? But he knows the case before it's over because he does know the case before it's over. He knows he's going to pronounce me guilty and put a fine on me to go into his retirement. That's what he knows. And anything I say is wasting his time. It's wasting your time to defend people. I got a right in a courtroom, but you don't have a right. You don't have a right. And I'll explain why all this is relevant for what the state does. So let me play this. Continue to play this. So just a second, be patient with me. Okay, lost the pen here. Goes off before I goes off before but that I may show it another day. You get the point that the government will not let you defend yourself in their courtrooms. The government will not let you defend yourself in their courtrooms. And there's more to that video. That happened down here at a Knox County courthouse. And let me show you what's important here. The cross of Jesus Christ. Thank y'all for joining me. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. So we got a little bit of the early morning crowd. Thank y'all so much for joining me. And we are Charles Van Morgan in the morning. So we're gonna head down to the bridge and give you the topic of today is broadcast is the insidious government. Now they are on this about how they are firing people who are running down the government, and they're firing people who are standing up against what was done to, that are promoting what was done to Charlie Kirk, which is a good thing. They need to do that. Make sure I got this on right. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Thank you for joining me. Got a real good show today. We're going to talk about a little government, people in power, corruption. It's not, there we go. Thank y'all for joining me. It's not government corruption, because we are the government and we're not corrupt. We are honest people. It's our government and we need to run it however we want to. We're talking about people that have lied to us to get in government power. We're talking about their corruption, how they mistreat us. So we're headed down to the bridge. My motto, because that's where I can catch everybody, because there's the government's closed down a bridge and more people have to go across the bridge, so I can get freedom of speech out more, carrying my sign, which is Charles Van Morgan, possibly for governor. Got a question mark and my QR code. You already know my Facebook app. You're on it and we're live now. We're letting people know we're live now. Advertising in more ways than one, and also live now. They say we lost an election. We're still here, but there were fraud elections, both in the governor's race and in this last election, fraud elections. And you can see those videos on Facebook, on my Facebook page. There's more videos. Thank y'all for showing up. You can see those on my Facebook page. More videos where the government is being a sniper toward me. Being a sniper. Now, there are a lot of people, rightfully, getting fired because they are saying stuff about Charlie Kirk and how he was shot. They're running him down, saying it. People at our universities saying stuff like there's no sympathy for him, and trying to promote that kind of activity, violence, a sniper, insidious, in secret, shooting at somebody. And that's wrong. That's wrong. They ought to be fired. If you are a government employee, you don't have freedom of speech rights like the public. While you're working at that university or for the government, they can fire you. Now, you can speak freely, whatever you want to say when you're not fired, when you don't work for the government, but you can't say whatever you want when you're a government employee or when you're any employee, unless they don't have anything about freedom of speech, because they got a right to not employ you. So it's not a question of freedom of speech. It's a question of employer has really nothing to do with freedom of speech. In Tennessee, they can fire you for whatever reason, for no reason at all, unless you have an employee contract. And usually there's something in the employee contract that they can get you on. So they have every right, nothing to do with the First Amendment, to fire these people that are promoting. This is what's so sick about it. They're promoting Sniperism. I maybe just made up a word, Sniperism. They're promoting insidiously, in secret, from a high position far away, shooting somebody in the neck and severing their spine. If you've seen the video, it's horrific. Blood goes everywhere, and he holds his hands up, probably paralyzed instantly. A young man, 31 years old, and they're promoting that. To do that in the United States of America, that makes us all unsafe. That is so demonic, and people in our institutions are promoting that type of activity. That is so sick. That is so sick. I wouldn't care if it was what Charlie Kirk thought was wrong. If it was a gay man standing there promoting his lifestyle at the university, if he got the permits and did what he was supposed to do, complying with their rules, and was standing there talking about how gay white men or gay black men are being mistreated, and even had his boyfriend or girlfriend there promoting that lifestyle. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't. Absolutely do not agree with that. But I would certainly not ever in this lifetime condone or make any statement that would approve of anybody going to a building in secretly climbing on a building, getting them in their scope and shooting a gay man in the head, just like I would in Charlie Kirk. Either side, that's so sick and insidious to do that kind of activity. It is so wrong, and anybody that promotes that in any way, shape, or form should be fired. And I hate to do it. I don't like to promote people in the government. I think they're part of the problem, but it is so blatantly obvious that these people should not be at our universities and in public offices. Marsha Blackburn Yu, is what I call her, she's running for governor, maybe against me, but she's getting these people fired, trying to point out what they're saying. And kudos to her for that. She's right about that. I'll call them right when they're right. They shouldn't be in public office when they are a semblance of condoning an insidious act of secrecy and violence towards anybody that disagrees with them. That is so sick. Whoops, almost fell down. Yeah, it's dark out here. Sorry about that. So you almost got a faux pas. So what I'm going to do today is there's more than one way to sniper somebody. There's more than one way to sniper somebody. There's a lot of ways. And what I'm going to say is going to be very alarming, but it is the truth. The government uses similar tactics against you and against me, against anybody that stands up against them peacefully and says to vote them out. That's what the government does. The government is an insidious, people in government power are an insidious sniper. Now we're going to get blocked in here. Insidious sniper. There's no sidewalk on this road. We're going down to the bridge. There's sidewalks all over the place in West Knoxville. Why is there not any in South Knoxville? I'll tell you why. Because people are lower income here, and out in West Knoxville, the doctors, lawyers, and in South Knoxville, there are people who have as much education as the lawyers in West Knoxville, but appointed by them by their insidious snipering me, people in government power, including Lionel Russell, snipering me. I bet he lives in the best part of the area that he lives in, although he doesn't have any education. But yeah, they don't have a lot of privileges and a lot of the stuff that we need in South Knoxville that they have in West Knoxville because of the influential, powerful money in West Knoxville. That's just a fact. Haslam was in West Knoxville. Yeah. How do you figure that? Would he live in South Knoxville? No. But the insidious sniperism of the government's what we're going to talk about. Y'all just seen a video of a judge, and there's another one on there I may show another day. Judge McMillan down here, and I'm going to talk about that this morning. And I'm going to talk about a popular tactic by the government that they've enacted fully, 100% on me, to try to discredit me. Now, when you go against people in government power, and I'm not going against the government, government is good. God ordains government. Government is good. God is the ultimate arbitrator of government. God is a just God. But if you stand up against these people, try to get people together to do what our Constitution allows, freedom of speech, ask people to vote, then they will, their popular tactic against you, and they've got more channels than I do. And they even do it in churches, in God's houses. They promote their violence in God's houses. I mean, you can look at a video with me trying to speak out against their corruption, and they tell me I can't speak and cut me short in one of God's houses. How dare they do that? In God's houses in Knoxville, Tennessee. The Republican Party, and I'm not saying Republicans are bad, the people aren't bad, but the leadership in Tennessee is bad. They even went against the president that you nominated. That's how dirty these people are. They had a Republican that is pro-abortion, a Democrat that's pro-abortion, speak freely. A Democrat pro-abortion spoke freely at a church. A person that's independent, that has a lot of Republican views, that has some Democrat views, but I'm not pro-abortion. I'm pro-life. But a person that is pro-life was not allowed to speak because I don't kiss the ring, because I'm saying go vote these people out of office. So what we have here, as I said earlier, is a failure to communicate. And I want to communicate this very effectively this morning and explain to you how your government is criticizing Marsha Blackburn, trying to get people fired, that justifiably so, that are promoting sniperism. But what about the government sniperism? What about them shooting at me? Because I'm not violent or dangerous. Never been violent or dangerous to anybody at any time in my life. Never hurt anybody. Never, not one time. Don't plan to. Have no future plans of hurting anybody. Never have, never will. You know why? It's not because of man's laws. It's because of God's laws. And because I'm a Christian, a believer in Jesus Christ, and Jesus doesn't condone violence. He doesn't at all. Now, self-defense is another thing. But I'm not a violent person, nor would I ever be violent. But that doesn't matter to them. The sniperism will paint me as a violent, dangerous person because of their attack against me, against my character. If you go against the government justifiably, they will attack you. They will attack your character, and they will discredit you, attempt to discredit you. And that's what they're trying to do to me, discredit me. Saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not an honest person, saying that I'm violent, dishonest, accusing me of letting a young man burn to death as I drove by, discrediting me. While I'm running for governor, they subpoenaed me to court on that civil case. So, attempting to discredit me wrongfully. The government set a sniper on a building to try to shoot me in the neck. In another way, not with a bullet, but with discrediting me. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to Charles Van Morgan. That's what they're trying to do to me. You see the courtroom I was in? Why was I in that courtroom? Because I did something violent or dangerous? Hell no. Hell no. And people think, well, you did something against your sister. No, I didn't. There were 3 other sisters there that said I didn't do anything where there was any kind of civil order needed to be entered against me. So they're discrediting me. He's violent. Look what he did. He did something violent in our civil courts. Did you see how their civil courts operated? So there's several points I want to make about that video. And another one. That's Judge McMillan down here in the Baumgardner Courthouse. Now, he got reelected because of their proxy, and they'll keep getting reelected. And when you go in their courtroom, when you're accused of a crime or accused of a civil disobedience, shut up. You have no rights. It's a Russian court. It's a Russian court in the Knox County Baumgardner Courthouse. You go in that courthouse, guarded by sheriff's deputies. The judges are guarded by sheriff's deputies. You're not guarded, they are. They're guarded better than school, our little children. That Judge Baumgardner, that Judge McMillan's guarded better than little children in his Russian court in the United States of America. It's a Russian court because you have no due process rights. You have no First Amendment rights. You have no right to say anything except for sit there and shut up. And what you're supposed to do is answer questions, even if it's a lie, even if you're committing perjury, in the way that he wants you to answer them. And you've seen on full display. Was I disrespectful to him? No. Did you see how he treated me? Did you see how he acted towards me? I was trying to answer questions, defend myself. The stuff I was trying to say was very relevant. How did he know it wasn't relevant? I'll tell you why he knew it wasn't relevant. Because he already had his mind made up. Guilty. He was snipering me. If you go to a sniper and say, let me move out of the way of your bullet, he'll say, no, that's not relevant. You stand right there where I can shoot at you. You don't try to elude my bullet. But I know what they're doing. The government, people in government power, Lionel Russell, his brother, some of my own family, some of my dead father's, deceased father's brothers, because they worship, they kiss the ring. They're afraid to do what I'm doing and stand up against people in power that are rogue, that are dangerous to you. And I know that I'm saying some alarming stuff. It's not stuff I pull off the top of my head. I was educated in their universities. I know what I'm talking about. I was out protecting lives, but they don't care about protecting lives. They want you under their control. They want you under complete control, and that's what it's coming to in this society. And they even have their foot in the door in our Christian churches. Wow, and yeah, I said that. In our churches. And churches are good. They're God's houses. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ for his sacrifice. But churches do wrong all the time. If you go to church a lot, you know they go rogue a lot. So let me see how many people I have in here. We'll continue this dialogue about, they want to talk about, and I agree, these people that say stuff promoting sniperism, I'll call it. Maybe I made up a word. Should be fired. But what about the government sniperism? Will Marsha Blackburn speak out about how the government will sniper you if you stand up against and say, don't vote for Marsha Blackburn, vote for Charles Van Morgan? Yeah, will they sniper? Yeah, they will. You seen on video, right just a few minutes ago. If you missed it, rewind it and play it, how they took a shot at me. In their courtrooms, they won't let you defend themselves. So let's see how many people we got on here. Thank y'all for joining me. We'll continue with this Charles Van Morgan in the Morning show, talking about government, people in government power, corruption. I hate to say government corruption because the government's not corrupt. We're the government. They have invaded our government. They're invaders. They're protesters. Oh, gosh. Damn. That's what I get for walking at night. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't call an ambulance. I'm good. I stepped off the curve in the dark, so I'm good. So let me find my little pen here. I'm sorry I fell. I'll be all right. So yeah, let me get my little pen. Here we go. Got my little pen I dropped. I'm okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I stepped off the curb. Part of doing this in the dark. I'm still here. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. I'll have to be more careful. Walking after dark, that's what happens when you're live. Stuff happens. Let me get my little pen in here. So Charles Van Morgan in the morning. You got to see a little drama. So I'm good. So let's move on. So that's what happens when you're live. But so what about the government's abuse, mistreatment, and sniperism of me? What about that? Are they going to stand up against that? And what I'm doing is making a comparison between how the government insidiously, in secret, with their proxy and with their lies and with their backdoor, behind the scenes hallway conversations, snipers people like me that speak out against them. And one of the most popular ways for the government, people in government power, to discredit people, to stop people from speaking the truth, is to say they're not credible. They're not honest people, and they're not credible. And to try to make people not listen to them. To try to say bad stuff about them using government power. It's a form of insidious sniperism from a distance. And a lot of times, the people that are actually pulling the trigger are not the ones completely behind it. They're sent by people like has-been, by people like Governor Bill Lee. The people that pull the trigger are sent by them. They hide. They're not even brave enough to and that's sick. They're not even the ones that actually do the defamation, because they want to be seen as only speaking good. And you listen to how Bill has been, high bills, because he's raising your bills. How much has the economy increased under his dictatorship? How much has prices of food gone down? He's been governor now for what, 6 years? Are you better off under has been? Now he'll blame everything. He'll blame the coronavirus. Well, he was the governor during the coronavirus. Couldn't he have made it where he didn't shut down the economy? He's been governor all this time. He's supposed to govern all this stuff and manage it. Why is your prices so high in Tennessee? Because your governor, Bill Haslam, he's really the governor. He's the one that paid for Governor Bill Lee's campaign. He had a campaign at his house where you couldn't even go unless you were super rich. So we're going to continue this, how the government is trying to discredit me. People in government power are trying to discredit me because I'm speaking the truth out against them. And they do corrupt criminal activity against me, and they will against you. So let me see how many people got on here. We'll continue this dialogue. Charles Van Morgan in the morning, and I'll try to stay on the sidewalk from now on. We got a bunch of people in here. So the act of being a sniper in war is what you do to protect your fellow soldiers. And I understand that, but that's in a war, and that's not murder. But it is a gruesome activity carried out by people in the military, and when they're protecting their fellow soldiers, protecting this country. But when you use it on the homeland at a major university for whatever reason, and anybody that condones that activity is wrong. It makes us all unsafe. How would you like, and how do you feel about walking around in society if you say something that's not violent, that offends people? You could get shot from a distance and don't even know who's doing it. And anybody that says they have no sympathy for a person that is shot down in the United States in open, in public, is a violent person promoting violence, making it unsafe for everybody. And kudos to our government officials that are taking a stand, people running for public office, and getting these people fired. They have no place in a peaceful, democratic society. You promote violence, and that's the same thing, they're promoting violence. And I wouldn't even promote shooting them with a sniper. We're better than they are. They're promoting either shut up and say what we tell you to, agree with us, and if you don't agree with us, shut your damn mouth, or we think that people ought to shoot you in the head and we'll have no sympathy for you. Really? Really? Zero sympathy? I'm not saying you have to have sympathy for the positions that you disagree with. I'm saying that you should have sympathy for how it was done in a sick, grotesque manner. And anybody on the face of God's green planet that condones that kind of activity in a free society is demonic and out of their freaking minds, and they need to be stopped. And you know, and they literally believe that that is okay to do that. It's not okay. It wouldn't be okay for me to say that, and I would never say that. That kind of violence should never be condoned. In a free America, somebody that uses a military tactic of snipering in a secretly climbing on a building, hiding in cowardiceness, your life's not in danger. The military people that are doing snipering in a war, their life's in danger. Your life's not in danger. Secretly climbing on a building, shooting somebody because they disagree with what you say, and anybody in America that says anything that would promote that kind of thing that makes all of us unsafe, to feel like if we said anything against people in power, that we should be shot down like a dog, is out of their mind and demonic. And that's a form of being demonic, is when you're out of your mind, you're being influenced by evil. That is so wrong. So wrong. I don't care who it is. Don't hurt them with violence. Disagree with them. Make against them in public. Do what you can to combat. Vote against them. But if they get violently murdered, I wouldn't care if it was the person who did that act of violence before he did that, or even if now, if he were in public place. The courts need to do their job. They don't, is the reason why it promotes violence. But he even murdered somebody insidiously, took the father away from a child, from children, because of his viewpoint. But even if he were in public, I wouldn't promote somebody shooting him. I wouldn't promote that. I promote people in government power that they want, putting him under, taking his life through the legal process, through execution, not through an insidious secret act, make sure I'm on the sidewalk, of violence. So yeah, not through a secret act of violence. So anybody that promotes that is violent. But let's look at how the insidious people in government power do that to us. Do that to us. Do that to me. Insidiously, through the use of snipers, try to discredit me. And that's what the government will do, try to silence you. Now, they don't use a sniper and a bullet. Sometimes they do. Now, that's happened in America, this government. They use discrediting. They use the rogue courts. And you've seen an example of a rogue court in action in the McMillan court, not even allowing me to answer questions. And I literally complained about that through their process. See, their processes don't even work. The processes by the government, people that they've got set up in power, won't even take your complaints. They say your complaints are unfounded. Even though you've seen it live, up close and personal. If you are suspected of a civil offense and you're accused, you're drug into court, you ought to have wide leeway in how to answer yourself. In answering, they won't let you do that in their courtrooms. So that's a form of blowing Van's neck out, shooting him in the neck. The Baumgardner courthouse in McMillan tried to shoot me right in the neck. Shut up, Van. You can't defend yourself in our courtrooms. You're not allowed to do that. I was running for governor, Tennessee, against the man that was sitting governor that promotes him. He ruled for the governor. It wouldn't matter what I said. He was ruling for the governor. So let's see how many people we got in here. Yeah, we got a lot of people. Let me read some of the comments. So yeah, let me read some of the comments. Well, so thank y'all for listening. Harold said, hey, hi there from South Africa. Oh, glory. Are any of you in here crying over this man's beliefs over going to post content to your channels? Or are all of you just using these accounts to cry and whine and bash campaign on YouTube? Well, whatever you want to think. Freedom of speech. Can't discredit me. I never had credit to start with. Grumps on fly. The internet is making people crazy. Good morning. Is 11 a.m. here. For what time is it for you? It is about 6:30 for me. A gospel mission, hayseed in the morning. We need Judge Dredd. That's early. Thanks. Y'all think Charlie Kirk made it out? Long live America. That's right. Let's see here. No, they don't have a right. No, they don't have a right. Preach. Okay. So we will. So let's talk about the government committing acts. I call it sniperism, by discrediting people that run for public office. Now, let me put this into context. When I was in that courtroom and accused of a civil offense where they needed to get an order from a court for me to stay away from somebody, which was a lie. There was no order needed. That was a lie. That order was perpetrated by a member of the Christian Coalition. I was sued into court while I was out knocking on doors saying, vote for me, I'm running for governor. Vote for me, I'm running for governor. And I was out doing that in West Tennessee, in Memphis, where I got about 500 votes. Now, I was out running for governor. Now, if Bill Lee had been doing this, or Bill Haslam, were they treated him the same way? No. No, I was out not discrediting. It did discredit him because it's the truth. I was out talking about Governor Bill Lee to people face to face at their front doors that wanted to listen legally, lawfully, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., knocking on people's doors. The United States Supreme Court has said that Tennessee government cannot stop that. Cannot stop that because of freedom of speech. They cannot stop, no matter who you are, from running for government office or political speech. With some restrictions, you can't be convicted of felony. That's what trying to convict me of a felony. They've also done that for trying to run against people in power. If you run against people in power, if you're a political candidate and you go along with the program, you don't run them down. You don't tell the truth about them. You don't say, hey, the government, Bill Lee, is dangerous to you. He allows the drunk driving problem to continue across the state. He's only interested in his safety and his children's safety. They're closing down hospitals. They're helping the billionaires, protecting the billionaires, lowering the billionaires' taxes, and ending the billionaires' taxes and raising your taxes. If you say that to people, and I'm in danger right now for saying, if you say that to people, their tactic, and it's true, that's what they're doing. Tennessee leads this nation, is one of the leading, one or two, or close to the top in hospital closures. Here in Knoxville, here in the city of Knoxville, they closed down St. Mary's Hospital close it down and shut down, and they open the police department in the city of Knoxville. The Knoxville City Police Department is in St. Mary's Hospital building. You can't get medical care there. You can go get interrogated for an alleged crime and get put in jail, but you won't get medical care there. So they're closing down police departments and closing down, hospitals, and opening up police departments for you and me and everybody else. They're not worried about our health care. They don't care about that. They want us under control. They won't give you health care. They will lock you up and they will kill you. And there'll be no cameras when it's unlawful. And so if you say that, that's the truth. Look at the numbers, look at the statistics. They try to discredit me. I got a Master of Arts in Sociology from their university. A university that former rogue, dangerous governor that bought the governor's office, Bill Haslam, has his name on the building. Never went to college there, but he bought his name on the buildings. He's a good man. He represents the university. Look at his name on the side of the building. It's Haslam School of Business, Haslam School of how to rip people off. That's what it is. That's the truth. And I'm not discrediting him. Well, it is discredit, but I'm telling the truth about him. That's who he is. And I have a right in this country, as opposed to Russia, to say that. The Supreme Court has said that. Tennessee can't inhibit me from saying that. I'm subject to civil laws, defamation, false communication, communicated to at least a third person, that tends to lower somebody in the stand in the community that's unprivileged. Now, they do defamation legally because, like I said, unprivileged false communication. So if it's privileged, like by a judge in a courtroom that they appoint, that they set up, then they can defame you. They can say false stuff about you in their courtrooms. And you can't sue them for defamation because it's privilege. Anything a judge says about you is false. It's privileged information. That judge even went on, and I'll show you the videotape maybe tomorrow. Judge even went on to discredit me, say false stuff about me in this courtroom. And I'll show you some pictures if we get down to the bridge in time. So he is from a Haslam and Bill Lee and people in government power, send that judge from a distance and shoot me in the neck, snipering me, shut up, literally severing my voice. Where you heard him. If you didn't believe me, rewind the tape. He won't let me finish the sentence. He won't let me answer questions. And then when my attorney thinks that, hey, and he told me later, I thought he was going to put you in jail. Put me in jail for defending myself? Yeah, they will. They'll put you in jail for defending yourself. And get this, I didn't volunteer to be there. They ordered me to be there. And so I'm ordered to be there to be belittled and made fun of in front of McMillan. So they order you to their courtrooms. If you run for government office, I was running for governor against the governor that promotes him. And if you run against him, tell the truth about him, they'll order you to a courtroom surreptitiously, like a sniper, and they'll sit there in court and discredit you. And that's protected privilege defamation, because anything a judge says, they can run you down, they can lie about you, they can call you whatever they want to say, and you can't sue them because it's privileged. Communication by a judge in a courtroom is privileged. You can say anything he wants to about you. It's designed to give them freedom to adjudicate whatever they believe. And that's fine if we have people in government offices that are willing to do what's right and realize that, hey, this is a powerful position. I need to be careful that I don't abuse my privilege. And you're seeing him blatantly, look on my Facebook account, blatantly up front and personal, discrediting me because I'm trying to defend myself. If you defend yourself, they'll discredit you. He even said, and I didn't get to play the other tape, and I may tomorrow, made fun of me. Anybody that says they've been to law school and graduated should know. Look at him. That's discrediting me. Did that need to be said? Did that have anything to do with what I was accused of? No. He's discredited me. Obvious, blatant discredit of somebody because I'm running for government office. I'm standing up against these people and telling the truth about them. But they're allowed to lie about me. So I'm subject to criminal laws. Let's see if we can get to the sidewalk up here. Remember I said, yeah, I did fall down, but there's no sidewalks, not many in South Knoxville. They're all over the place. And West Knoxville, because that's where the money is. That's where the liars are. That's where the lawyers and doctors, some of them do unnecessary surgeries. Yeah, see, let's talk about that. They train me that in their universities. They look at science, take away a little bit of the bias. Not all professors, but science is bigger than the University of Tennessee, these small universities. And the study of sociology has been going on since the 18th century. And they talk to you about crimes of the rich, and one of them is unnecessary surgeries for money. They do unnecessary surgeries for money. And it's not off topic, but I'll tell you, a friend I had died just a few years ago. I used to play basketball with. He was in the hospital, and I went to visit him. He was on his deathbed, and he was a Christian. I know he's in a better place. But he was telling me, because I got a legal education, about a doctor that they know he's sick and dying, and they did an unnecessary surgery on him because he had insurance, and one of the money took something out of, I don't know what body part it was, acting like they were trying to help his cancer. They were just doing unnecessary surgery to take a body part out of him because they misdiagnosed him. And they didn't really misdiagnose him, I don't think. They were just doing a surgery to get money. Every time they take a body part out, surgery's expensive, then they make a lot of money and get a lot of insurance money. Doctors do that, some of them. I wouldn't listen to every doctor. Don't listen to every authority figure. So they literally took part of his body out because he had cancer for money, I believe. And he was asking me about that, and I was telling him, yeah, you can sue him. They were saying that his illness, the reason why, and cancer causes all kinds of complications, was due to some body part that they need to remove. And they removed it because of money and unnecessary surgery. So don't just listen to authorities. But these people lie on you, cheat, rob, and steal, that have overtaken our government. Now, in that particular case, when I was in the Baumgardner courthouse, now Baumgardner was in the courthouse. He was a judge in that courthouse in Knoxville, Tennessee, back just a few short years ago. And he was over a drug court. That's the same courtroom that Judge McMillan is in. And see, I'm not allowed to say this to tell you the truth, or they'll try to damage me. But I got a huge audience, and I'm hoping that they'll be afraid to. Because if anything happens to me, don't look at some rogue gunman, some sniper from a distance. Don't look where you'll find somebody that damages me, that kills me, that tries to. And God bless, protect me, I pray. The place to look is with people in government power, United States of America. You look at Russia. Look at Russia, an oligarchy. If you speak out against Putin, what's going to happen to you? What happened to his cook that spoke out against him? It literally went halfway into Russia, almost overthrowing his government. Now, I'm not doing anything by violence. I'm doing stuff by speaking the truth to power. Speaking the truth to y'all. He ended up, his airplane crashed, fell out of the air. Fell out. That was a complete total accident, wasn't it? So let's look at the perpetrator who put a bomb in the plane. You know who put a bomb in the plane? I'll tell you who put a bomb in the plane. Putin's government did. Putin's government did. So I'm telling you, very loud and clear, if some evil befalls me, like it did to Charlie Kirk, like a sniper or whatever, I hope not. I don't predict that to happen. I'm not like Martin Luther King saying that I've seen the other side. I haven't yet. I got a long life to live. But if it does, we never know. I don't have an illusion of control. If it does, don't look at some rogue, lone gunman that doesn't like my speech. Look at people in government power that I'm telling you the truth about, because they will try to take my life. Some of them have literally been to my house. I'm just saying, that's the truth. Major Stacy Heatherly now has unannounced been to my house I thought she was going to pull a gun on me. You can ask Michelle. So let's get back to the Judge McMillan. You've seen his demeanor and attitude towards me. He's a sniper trying to shoot me right in the neck, shut me up. I couldn't even speak. I couldn't even, and I had a right, a constitutional right in that courtroom to defend myself. Now, Judge Baumgardner was in that same courthouse. He was over a drug court. While he was over the drug court, he got drugs off the women there in the drug court, some men. He got women from the drug court, giving them special rulings, taking them back to his office in the courthouse, and had sex with them. He raped them. That's not consensual. Raped them in that courthouse. Now, you and me, sad to say, pay taxes that support the sheriff's department here in Knox County. That's why it's important that you vote. Because we elect the sheriff. The sheriff should have known about that. Maybe he did. I don't know. They support the power. If you go against them, even in their crimes, look what they did to me. They'll sniper you. They will discredit you. They will say that you're not honest. You're not to be listened to, which is what they say about me, which is not true. I'm very honest. I have degrees from their university. I got a degree where their proxy, their person that puts people in public offices, just has his name on the building saying he's good. I got my name on where it's been given me certification that I have advanced knowledge, although you can learn stuff on your own too. But he was literally getting drugs off people in his drug court. People think about Kentucky judges. It's right down here in Knox County. But that is, let me tell you this, that is completely stopped. None of that ever goes on now. They completely cured that problem, right? Yeah, right. That was a judge right here in Knox County telling me to shut up. What else does he do? I know he's backing up the proxy. I know he's backing up the governor, because I was out in West Tennessee campaigning against the governor of the state of Tennessee when I was told either come to court or be arrested. And then when I come to court accused of false accusations, I was told you can't defend yourself. The judge was telling me, you heard him right there, stuff I was saying wasn't relevant. It was relevant. How did he know it wasn't relevant? Did he know the case ahead of time? The answer to that is yes, he sure did. He knew that I was guilty as hell no matter what he said, no matter what I said, no matter what the evidence. You're guilty as hell. He doesn't care what you have to say. But in this country, we're supposed to be able to defend ourselves. Was I able to defend myself? No, hell no. So here's a smoker. I'm gonna blow smoke everywhere. Okay. So yeah, but let me just say, if you're a smoker, hey, that's fine. You want to ruin your own health? Have at it. Be conscientious of other people that don't want to smoke, don't want to ruin their health. Don't smoke in their face. I've seen women hold their little children while they're smoking a cigarette. That's child abuse. And if you get in somebody's car and you know, it's an inappropriate question to ask, can I smoke? Can you smoke in somebody's car? That's no. Now, if they're smoking or something, but you don't get in somebody's car and light up a cigarette, or even it's an inappropriate question to get in somebody's car and ask them if you can smoke. The answer is, that's not a question you should even ask me. Hell no. Now, if you see them light up a cigarette, you might, but you know, you're doing something that's bad for your health. I hate to tell you. If you smoke, I don't hate you, but what you do, I hate. And don't ruin my health. Be conscientious of people walking by. People hover at hospital doors. People going in sick. Stand there by the damn door smoking cigarettes. Where you go in the hospital, you're sick, and you got to breathe their damn cigarette smoke. I mean, come on, have a little self-esteem that you don't blow smoke in people's face. Secondhand smoke kills people. So I got off on that appropriate tangent. I get tired of breathing everybody's cigarette smoke. I mean, please give me a damn break. If you smoke, that's fine. I understand that. Go somewhere where nobody's at or where you're around people that do. So I'll tell you the truth. That's what I think. You're killing yourself. Please stop. But that Judge McMillan, now he smokes, I believe. Look at his, and I don't smoke. My teeth ain't white and pearly because I don't have a lot of money to go to the dentist. I do go to the dentist, brush my teeth every day, but his teeth are, he's rich. You notice rich people have all these white shiny teeth and they smoke. It's because they got money. Now, Judge McMillan, his teeth are all dingy. Why? Because I believe he smoked cigarettes. I don't know that, but his teeth are all dingy because of that. Now, he wouldn't even let me speak. So we're talking today, Charles Van Morgan in the morning, about the dirty people in government power that sniper you. And they've tried to sniper me by discrediting me. So let me see how many people I got on here. We'll continue this dialogue. I got some pictures I want to show you if we can get to the bridge about some of these dirt bags. And I told you yesterday, if we got time, we'll talk about the attorneys that snipered me. But I'm still here, still speaking. I'll make it worse. I was trained to fight. I never give up. Never give up. And maybe if they do me in, then Charlie Kirk's message is resonating now more than ever, so maybe you ought to leave me here. So, I don't know. So, I know where I'm going. So, speaking truth to power, Charles Van Morgan in the morning. I'm talking about the people in power that are dirty. I'm not running down government. Government is good. We're the government. We need to vote these people out. And if you, let me finish my point, if you live in Knox County, be careful who you vote for a sheriff, because the sheriff was protecting, his deputies were protecting Rode Baumgartner while he was raping people. Your tax money is protecting. If you'd have ran in the courthouse trying to stop a woman, protect her from being raped by Judge Baumgartner, a Knox County deputy sheriff would have grabbed you and arrested you, maybe killed you if you kept trying. And your tax money, my tax money, paid to protect a rapist while he was in action. You go in that courthouse and you see how they pat you down protecting them judges. One of them was raping people. You seen how Judge McMillan took my guns off me to go in there so he can harass me. Hey, Judge McMillan, I'm out here on the street. I got a right to say this. Come out here and tell me to shut up. I'll keep speaking. You try to hurt me out here, I'll defend myself. I got a God-given right to. I don't give a damn who you are. You're not taking my life without a fight. And that's Judge McMillan. Did you see in the courtroom, shut up? Hey, tell me to shut up. I'm out here talking to 250,000 people in the last month I've talked to. Judge McMillan shut me up in the courthouse, didn't he? Shut me up, told me to shut up. Under threat of arrest, he threatened to arrest my witness. I'm out, McMillan, hey, McMillan, you crooked, dirty judge. You lying, dirty thief, putting money in your pocket, you took my inheritance from me, from my mother, Judge McMillan. You dirty judge, protected by my tax money. I'm not protected by the tax money. I'll show you where sheriff's deputies stop me while I'm knocking on people's doors saying vote for me. They won't even let me do that. Judge McMillan is behind that. He gets elected through the Republican Party who have infiltrated churches to preach their sickness. A popular group here in Knoxville, Center City Republican Party, operates out of a church. Yeah, I said that. Operates out of a church here in Knoxville. I tried to speak out against people in power, not against the government, against people in power, some of the rogue, dirty lies they tell. And in a church, they told me to shut up. I couldn't speak. Ran me out of there. You can look at the tapes. Other people were given 10 minutes. They let a Democrat in a church at a Republican convention, Republican forum, let a Democrat at a Republican forum that is pro-abortion in a Baptist church that would tell you they're against abortion, are they? That's what they say. That's what they say, isn't it? Do they do? I don't care what you say. I could care less. What do you do? Let me see your actions. Have you ever heard simple concept? Actions speak louder than words. Yeah, they do. They speak volumes. You can tell somebody's lying because a lot of body experts where they can tell if you're lying or not, trained to read body language. And people are literally ask, well, did you kill that person? And they say no. and shake their head yes. Body language, no. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, body language is a dead giveaway. It ain't what you say. It ain't the impression that you're trying to give people. The false impression that you're trying to give people, I might add. The false impression that Center City Republican Party is trying to give. They're trying to give the impression that they're in a church, they're Christian, right? Yeah. I don't buy that for 10 seconds. They let a Democrat that is pro-abortion speak at their church, that I guarantee they'd speak out against abortion, but they let somebody speak there that's pro-abortion, that is for the Knoxville City. You say that has nothing to do with the city race. The Knoxville City Council here in Knoxville made a proclamation that was voted on and approved that they stood for reproductive rights, abortion. And the Center City Baptist Church signed a proclamation by proxy that they agree with abortions on demand. That's from a church. I'm just telling you the truth. Now, some people think that God's going to strike me in. You're speaking against the church. No, I'm not. And let me look around. I don't see any lightning. They literally think that God's hand is in their work. No, it's not. No, it's not. God's in heaven. He doesn't back you up and you're dirty. He doesn't back Governor Bill Lee up. Plumber's butt. He doesn't back him up. He backs up truth, righteousness, and justice. He backs up people getting on their knees and accepting the Lord Jesus Christ in their heart. He doesn't back you up, Bill Lee, and you're dirty, you're rotten crooked, where you provide health care for your children and could care less about millions of Tennesseans that you deceived. The Republican Party in Tennessee is abortion on demand. That's what they did. They let a Democrat, look at the video. Center City Republicans let a Republican speak to their wits' end. I tried to speak the truth to power and point out, and if they were credible people, which they're not. Speaking in a church doesn't make you credible. It makes you even dirtier because you're speaking in the church, trying to say God's on your side. No, he's not. I'm going to do it again. Let me look around and see if I can see some lightning. Oh my gosh, Center City Republicans, I'm not being struck by lightning. God's not going to get me because I'm telling you the truth about you. In fact, let me tell you this. In fact, Center City Republicans, God might help me because I'm speaking against you all, because you all are dirty people. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You ought to get down on your knees and ask God to forgive you. There's little children's lives at stake. But you don't care about that. You care about your power. You know what I care about? Doing God's will. Like Martin Luther King said, I just want to do God's will. That's what I want to do. That's what I was doing when all this stuff started against me. Doing God's will. Anybody that is for protecting life, which I was, Morning Trooper in the state. Let me show you awards. Incredible. Now they try to discredit me. Try to blame me for the tragedies that alcohol causes. Now, if it's your job to stop the fatal wrecks involving alcohol, then, and you do it. A lot of troopers don't. Hear stories. They won't get backed up by the administration. If they won't get backed up by the Christian governor. What a joke he is. What an anti-Christian Bill Lee is. Anti-Christian. That's what I think. So if you try to protect human life, that's Christian. That's Christian. That's what I was doing. And if you're around people who are drunk, if it's your job to stop them, to arrest them, to get them in custody, you're going to be around a lot of people that are drunk, around a lot of tragic stuff in the process of trying to apprehend them, because there's so many out here. And if you're trying to apprehend them, alcohol is a dangerous drug. and narcotics and drugs and people that get behind the wheel are dangerous to society. And if your job is to apprehend them, of course you're going to be around them. Of course you're going to be around tragic incidences like I was. That doesn't mean you caused it. They happen without me even there. I'm not even on the road, and more people have been killed by drunk drivers, more guilty people and more innocent people. When I was on the highway patrol, I was involved in no instances, zero where innocent people got killed. I was involved in instances where I was trying to save people's lives, but I'm human, I'm not an angel. Trust me, I mean that in more ways than one. I'm forgiven. But no guilty people were killed. People that killed themselves while I was trying to save their life. But they tie me into that and try to discredit me and say because you were around what you stopped more than anybody in the state, because something bad happened and you weren't able to defy gravity and see in the dark, that you're somehow responsible, try to discredit me. See, that's the sniper. The government tried to discredit you. They tried to discredit me. Tried to say I wasn't credible, and they literally said he's not credible. That's the sniper. That's what they tried to do to me. But let me tell you something, Mr. Tracy Trott. Mr. Tracy Trott's in the bathroom. Let me tell you something. I'm not dirty like you. I wouldn't dare do that to you. I know your address. I wouldn't put it out. There goes some angels right there. If you've ever been, okay, so let's see how long we've been going here. If you've ever been injured and you see an ambulance, then make sure if you see an ambulance is coming, those people are angels. The work they do is angels. If you're ever seriously hurt, and you're helpless, and people come from an ambulance, they're like angels. You have a new appreciation for emergency medical personnel, and even at the hospital. These people that work in these trauma units are angels. They are literally angels. I mean, that is a God calling. That is a great thing. Thank you, nurses and doctors that are the ones in the trauma and the ones that cure and help diseases. You all are wonderful people, and God bless you all for what you do. See, I'm not all negative. I tell the truth. Now, some of them do unnecessary surgeries. When they want you to go to surgery, get a second opinion. They get a lot of money for that. But the ones at these trauma units all across the state, all across the United States, if you see a nurse or a doctor today, or an ambulance person or a fireman, tell them you appreciate what they do. Tell them now, because I guarantee if you're in a bad situation, you'll not only just say that, you'll feel it in your heart that you appreciate these emergency personnel that save your life. And even police, a lot of the times, they're not completely responsible for their administrations. They're not completely responsible. So let's get back to, let's talk about people in government power discrediting somebody that tells the truth about it, being like a sniper like they did to Charlie Kirk. Now, that's what they tried to do to me. That's what they did to me. That's what they tried. I was out protecting people's lives, and they discredited me, saying that I did something wrong because I was where I was supposed to be, doing what I was supposed to be doing. And I told you yesterday about a trooper, John Pettigo, that was out not doing what he's supposed to have been doing, and an innocent person got killed because he violated the law. Very easy to prove, I told you. But see, I went against the government, was making them look bad, showing them what a trooper could really do if they had a heart and took their oath seriously to protect the public. But they take the oath to protect the hierarchy. And that's not something I'm making up, that's sociology. So we're almost to the bridge, and I'm gonna show you some pictures and show you some of this stuff up close and personal. And if you don't care, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. We had 250,000 people watch this Neyland Stadium filled up twice and a half in the past about month. So there's a lot of people listening to us about people in government power corruption. The government's not corrupt because we're the government. We need to go vote. We need to take charge of our government. There's more of us than them, a lot more of us than them. Let's get rid of these rogue people in the government that are protesters that have taken over our government. kick them out of our courthouses. Let's get rid of Judge Baumgartner. I wouldn't shoot Judge Baumgartner. Or not Judge Baumgartner. Let's get rid of Judge McMillan. I wouldn't shoot Judge McMillan. I wouldn't promote any violence against him. Now, he's a violent man. He's a violent man. If he's out on the street and he tries to whip your butt, you have every right to defend yourself. And he might. I don't know. He's a very violent man. You can tell how he acted. You can tell they didn't even show the camera view when I asked him if I could ask a question and demanded my rights. Am I allowed to defend myself? I'm demanding my rights in his courtroom. And his answer was no. And you should have seen his body language. His head went back. How dare you question my authority? You shut up. I've got this case decided. Judge McMillan in the Baumgartner courthouse. I'll show you close up of that dirty courthouse where they rape women. They had to spend your tax money trying people over because it got so public that they couldn't hide their corruption. The Attorney General is shaking hands with the Attorney General at that time that knew about that judge raping women. He knew about his drunkenness, his drug addiction, and they let him get by with it. She's Attorney General now. Sharman Tissue Allen is over that courthouse down there. She'd like to shut me up. She'd like to kill me. She'd like to sniper me. I know how she is. Uses vulgar language to me. When I bring in drunk people, they don't want you to arrest drunk people. They don't want you filling up that courthouse with people and making them answer for drunk driving. And MAD is on their side. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, yeah, right. They're a proxy of the government. They're not against drunk driving. They're for the government. They literally said bad stuff about me. So MAD's not. MAD's not for people for against drunk driving. MAD's for them. So yeah, we'll get across this road and I'm gonna show you some pictures and then we'll get off here. Join us tomorrow, 6:30 in the morning. 6:30 in the morning, or about 6 in the morning. We've been getting on here earlier because we get more viewers. Speaking truth to power, Charles Van Morgan in the morning. And like, share, comment, and subscribe if you can. And also, if you want to donate, I got some people donated some money, contributed to this work, and I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Just hit my Square icon or the Cash App and donate if you can. It'll help us getting the truth out. It'll keep us on the bridge over here where the public, freedom of speech, where the public can see that we're not going anywhere. We're speaking truth about people in power. You won't hear this anywhere else. You won't hear people stand up against the government out here in public, telling you the truth about people in power in the government that are rogue as hell. So we're right here on the bridge. We'll set our sign down here. So you can see right here. So we got 130 people. And I'm going to show you some pictures that facilitate the conversation. Let me read some of your comments here. It says, go all the way to the bottom here. Man, we got a bunch of comments. Thank y'all so much. It says, while you can count your dead fetus. Okay, I don't even understand that. Post my sentiment exactly. While you can count your dead friends on your hands and feet, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, the frequency are saying the non-stop. I don't understand that. Okay. They pop up these towers and they frequently blast you and they send you messages to your mind. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Help is on the way. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, right. That's what they do. You all allow the truth because you yourself see these tyrants and you yourself see what they're doing, but what are they doing while they do it? This man eats corn the wrong way. Okay. Peer pressure. I'm not gonna. Maybe he should have one. That's right. Who even are you? I'm Charles Van Morgan. I dare you to say, Daddy. Okay. All right. But let's copy some of these comments so I can read them later and see what y'all say. While you're thinking about it, I was in EMS for a bit over 10 years, and I was rare to be told anything positive or job well done. Let me tell you something. Job well done. Thank you so very much for what you do. So people are listening to me. Yeah, job well done. I know. We copy some of this stuff. Okay, he's on the sidewalk. What's wrong with that? I'm out here in public, not hiding. Anyway, I'm out. Okay, bye. You got a right. You don't have to listen to me. Teddy has a boyfriend. No, I don't have a boyfriend. I'm not homosexual. And if you want to be homosexual, that's on you. So no one on YouTube Live is relevant info. Stop making excuses. You subhuman alcoholic. I don't drink. Try to discredit me. I don't drink. Okay. I'll pray for you, Teddy. I don't know if he's talking about me. Pray for me. God bless you for praying for me. So let's go over some of the comments here. Let's go over some of the pictures that I have posted here, and I'm going to tell you why, explain to you why some of this stuff is going on. That rogue judge at the Knox County Courthouse that wouldn't allow me to speak. You seen it this morning. If you haven't seen it, rewind the video. And there's another video I might show you tomorrow. He wouldn't let me defend myself. They drugged me in court. I was out in West Tennessee campaigning for governor, talking about Governor Bill Lee. He's closing down hospitals. His taking money from his friend that has a lot more money because he ended his own taxes. While he was in office, his buddy, Bill Haslam, ended his inheritance tax and raised your gas tax. And he has a lot of money to give to his buddy, Bill Lee. And I was talking about that out in West Tennessee. They can't do nothing about it, but they do it surreptitiously. They sniper you. They do it secretly, send other people to get on top of a building and shoot at you symbolically, insidiously. That's what people in government power do. And they call themselves Christian. Well, I don't think so. I'm not deceived. Are you? Does it look like I'm deceived? So, let's talk about why would this judge do that. I'll tell you why. Let me show you something right here. This is a picture. 3 lawyers as finalists for Knox County Criminal Court position. So yeah, that man right there, and that's the governor. So let me get this off the screen here. They get promoted by the governor that I was running down. So I'm out here in a free society, supposedly, speaking against the governor truthfully. If I'm not speaking truthfully against the governor, he's got rights to sue me in civil court. And in Tennessee civil court, he's probably going to win. But I have nothing. They've taken everything away from me. I have nothing anyway. They got me in a corner and I'll come out fighting. So where's your Christianity, Governor Bill Lee? Yeah, you dirtbag thug promoted a woman to major that is committing stolen valor. So they do that because I was running down the governor, and the governor promotes people. So they rule on the governor's side. If the governor had been in there, the man I was running against, would they tell him that he can't speak? Would they treat the governor the same way? I thought justice was blind. It ain't too damn blind, is it? Is it, McMillan? But I'm out here on the sidewalk. You didn't shut me up. You ain't never going to shut me up. So this is a challenge to you, McMillan. Apologize to me. But he won't do it. I'm just saying that. Taunting him. I got a right to taunt him with the truth. He's a rogue judge, McMillan. Vote him out if you're in Knox County. Vote him out. He needs to be investigated. If I ever got in public office, I'd have him investigated. Put him in the pokey that he puts other people in illegitimately, illegally. He prosecutes people illegitimately. So that's the reason why they do that, because these judges are promoted by the governor. Of course they're going to rule for the governor. Now, I wouldn't. If I was a judge, I would remember this thing called Somewhere I Read, what Martin Luther King said. But if a white man says that, it's not as important, right? Yeah, that's a little bit of racism against me. You're not allowed to protest the government if you're a white man. Protest people in power. I'm not protesting the government. They're protesting me. I'm a white man and protesting people in government power. But that's not allowed. It is allowed. You better make room for it because it's coming. It's on. So yeah, so I'm protesting people in power in the government. It's our government. We need to get rid of them. So yeah, that's the reason why they do that. So I was out on the road. Let me show you this picture here. With, that's a Vietnam veteran. See his hat right there? And he was in Vietnam, and they called him a baby killer. That's what they say about me, roguely, wrongly. So yeah, they pretty much the same thing. I was doing right, just like the Vietnam soldiers were. So yeah, let me show you this. But I'm not defeated. God is good all the time. God's good all the time, not some of the time. Even in your hard times, God is good. Praise God, praise the Lord. And also, let me show you this. God is greater than any problem. God's greater than Governor Haslam, Governor Bill Lee, the trash that they are. God's greater than them. I'm not afraid of them. Even in the good book, the Bible teaches it. Don't be afraid of man, which can take away the body. They can kill me, but they can't take away my soul and spirit. That's rest with God in heaven. So yeah, you're not taking away my soul and spirit. And also, let me tell you something else. I'm not hopeless. I'm not hopeless. Prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. Pray about things. Prayer changes things. Let me get on the other side of this bridge over here where the wind won't blow so hard. Where the wind won't blow so hard. Prayer changes things. And now let me show you, this is very important here. Pay real close attention to this. The culprit, part of the culprit, the sniper that was used to discredit me. I'll show you a picture. He thought he'd get by with what he did to me. Hello. Got a smile from a pretty girl. And so he thought he would get by with discrediting me because I'm helpless. You know, the Bible has promises for people that are helpless. It promises help for the fatherless, the widows, and the strangers. Yeah, that's talking about foreigners. We shouldn't mistreat them. Now, they need to be deported, but we shouldn't mistreat them. So, because they don't have a lot of political power or clout. Now, that's spiritual. You can't see that. I can see it. I believe that in my heart. I know it to be the truth. I go forward in not by what I see, but what the good Lord in heaven tells me is what I go by. I'm not afraid to die. I don't want to, but I'm not afraid to, and I don't think that's going to happen. God's angels are on me. But let me tell you who the culprit of getting me off the road, knocking on doors, running for governor. Let me show you the culprit of that. Here's the culprit of that. A man that is in the Christian coalition that backs up and supports the governor, supports political candidates for governor. Yeah, you gotta make a noisemaker. And that's who was behind that. Now let me show you this right here. He thought I would stop because this is Freddie Goodrich. I'm not going to tell you where he lives, but he's the one that got the social order of protection against me. Yeah, Fred, I'm still here. Hey, buddy, how you doing, Freddie? You dirtbag. So he didn't need no order of protection against me. He got me from West Tennessee, knocking on people's doors. Hey, I'm Charles Van Morgan, running for governor. The governor in Tennessee is closing down hospitals. He's supported by big money. He's not going to help you. He's going to help the proxy. He's a road governor. He causes the fatality rate to skyrocket. You're more dangerous on the roads. That's what I was doing. That's what you ought to be able to do in a fair, free and fair election, unless you're in Russia. And this has a lot of semblance to Russia. If you're in Russia, you get somebody like Daddy Freddie. Now let me tell you something about Fred. See, he tried to discredit me. Fred tried to discredit me. I was only around them because my mother's estate. I was asked to be there that day. I was the last one there, which the judge wouldn't let me answer, but I'll answer right now, McMillan. I don't need you to tell me I can speak or not. Your courtroom's your courtroom. It's a road courtroom. It's a dirty courtroom. It's a Russian courtroom. You ought to be investigated and your ass thrown in jail. But here's Fred. Let me discredit him truthfully. He lied about me. I'm not dangerous to anybody. Said I was dangerous to him. Tried to have my guns taken away. I'm not dangerous to anybody. Wouldn't shoot anybody in self-defense. I would. Haven't never hurt anybody at any time ever in my life. Now let's look at him. Has he ever hurt anybody? Let's talk about him. And he attacked me. Got a social order protection by a rogue Baumgartner courthouse judge. Let's talk about Fred. Hey, is that fair or what? Let me discredit him a little bit. It's called, warfare. He wanted to get in a fight with me. We'll show him how I fight. I fight with truth, and he fights with lies. Freddie Goodrich, how you doing, buddy? Listen to this stuff here. 250,000 people listening. Fred, you want to get on YouTube and lie? You go ahead. I'll discredit you some more. Look at this Freddie Goodrich here. There he is. Hey, Fred. Now, it's not my fault your husband is a deadbeat dad, whoremonger who had a child while married. In between your two sons, he's violent, beat a helpless, mentally handicapped man. Drughead, lowlife, violent, lying piece of shit. That's what he is. Charles Memoir. They attacked me falsely, but this is true about them. Now, look at these people. Now, Fred discredited me. I've never been accused of domestic violence. Been with Michelle the better part of my life. She's never had to call the police on me because I'm dangerous or violent. Why would a man that lied, said he's not seen me in years, have to get a social order protection? He wasn't even there against me because he's trying to discredit me. Now let's look at him. He had a child between his two children while he was married. He's an honest man. While he was married, Fred Goodrich. Now, he don't like me saying this. I didn't like being falsely taken off a campaign trail, threatened with arrest, being dragged into court, and the judge violating my federal constitutional rights. I didn't like that either. So here's Fred. Now, he was married. While he was married, he had a little child, and he went out on his wife, had sex with a drug-addicted prostitute, and got her pregnant. That's why he's married. Then he went back home. He could have killed his wife, said I'm dangerous to his wife. He could have killed his wife. That's why one reason why adultery is illegal and a bad thing is because it's not illegal, but it's a bad thing and condemned in the Bible, because you can kill your spouse if you go back to them and bring in diseases and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a bad thing to do secretly. So the drug-addicted prostitute had a child, and then he went back home and had a child with his wife. So he had an illegitimate child between his two children. That's sad for them. What a dirtbag man. Now you attack my credibility. I'm just saying, this man said that he needed me to stay away from him, that he was afraid for his safety from me. I'm not afraid. He's dangerous to me. Yeah, gaslighting, I'm telling you what, I don't have any illegitimate children. Never have. So he endangered his wife. So I said I was a danger to his wife. He could have killed her with diseases. I'm just telling you the truth. So he could have killed her with diseases. This is the man that put me in the courthouse where that judge could run me down, not let me defend myself. Social order protection. Y'all hear a lot about that. Type my name in Google, that comes up. Let me tell you the truth about it. This man right here, a member of the Christian Coalition, Freddie Goodrich, and I know where he lives, but I'm not a dirtbag like him. I'm not telling you where he lives. He'd tell you where I live. He'd try to kill me. He's a dirty, dangerous man. Gaslighting, saying I'm dangerous. No, he's dangerous. This is the man that the Tennessee court said they needed to protect him from me. Now, they might need to protect him from me telling the truth about him so I can protect you. Now, he's a member of the Christian Coalition. He literally goes around, knocks on people's doors, and not ask them to vote for him, but ask them to vote for the governor, Governor Bill Lee. He's knocking on, vote for Governor Bill Lee. So yeah, he's trying to get people to vote for the governor while I'm out in Ellis, Tennessee. So he runs me down. He's got a child between his two children. And get this, he decided that he didn't want to support his child that he had between his two children. You have a child, you're responsible for their welfare. He had to be sued in court to support his child. He's a deadbeat dad, doesn't want to take care of his children. Even if you have one out of wedlock, you still have to support them. You put them on the planet. You went out on your wife you got to support your legitimate children, and you have to support your illegitimate children. Now, I didn't have to support my illegitimate children because I'm not like Fred. I didn't have any. He's a real honest man. I wonder what he told his wife when he's going out to sleep with a prostitute. Honey, I'll be right back. I'm going to campaign for the governor. Yeah, that's Freddie. Hey, how you doing, Freddie? You shut me up, didn't you? Yeah, you don't shut up the truth. But anyway, so yeah, he sued me into court. I'm not attacking him wrongly. I'm telling the truth about him. Look what he did to me. Look what he did, dirtbag. So I'm just fighting back. He tried to discredit me. Let's discredit the discreditor. Let me put it this way. Let's tell the truth about the discreditor. And you've seen the video how the judge treated me. We didn't treat the governor that way. No. They get on a building and sniper you. Yeah, well, let me just tell you what. Your bullet didn't hit the right spot. So he violently beat a helpless mentally handicapped man. Now, the police had to come. He had a mentally handicapped man at his house, living in a barn, living in a shed. And he had him living there because in the daytime he'd put him to work for him for nothing. And wouldn't even feed him. He lost so much weight. And he beat him up. Literally beat on it. Mentally handicapped man. The police had to be called and remove him from his house. So who's violent? And you can ask my sisters. They know about it. Now, I'm dangerous. I've never beat on anybody. I've defended myself. And while I'm not perfect, I'm not going attacking somebody, and I don't have somebody living on my property doing that kind of garbage. And when I was a kid, I have to be honest. I used to like to fight, and but I didn't do any of that. So. And the other lady, I'm not going to associate myself with that. I had 3 sisters that testified in court that they needed order of protection. The judge threatened to put one of my witnesses in jail, trying to defend me. So if you defend Charles Van Morgan, you go to jail. And they attacked me falsely. That's the truth about them. So he's a whoremonger. He's an adulterer. He's violent. Beat a mentally handicapped man. Now that's the man that got a social order protection against me. I'm not around him. I can say this stuff truthfully. So yeah, I just wanted to point out that. Now that's how they sniper you. Now the answer's right here. That's the answer. Let me tell you about my credibility. Now look at this. I got degrees from their universities. And a doctor of jurisprudence. I'm credible. But I don't have a law license because they're lying. And anyone that tries to hurt me, I won't come to you, but I will defend myself. Anyone needs to know where I'm at to do me harm, someone ask, I promise you won't like what you find. I don't run from anybody. Don't run from anybody. I'm not running from anybody. And empirically, remember this, the success of the unruly. So we don't have to break civil laws. We don't have to go along with the program. And look at this right here. I'm proud of this. Donald J. Trump mugshot. Right there. Right there. For political reasons. For politics. For politics. He got arrested for political reasons. Look at this. I was running for governor. Literally running at the time, and I'll talk more about this later. Literally running for governor. Hey, vote for me. Vote for me. Protected, constitutionally protected activity. There's a mugshot of me. Let me put it beside Donald J. Trump. I'm kind of proud of that. Yeah. Got arrested for standing up for the public. Stand up for you. What they thought would harm me, it ain't harming me. I don't think. I think it helps. Now, I'm not glad that happened, but you see what they do to people that speak out against power. Now, the charges were dismissed, and I'll go into that in more detail, tell you about how they lied. They put me in jail running for governor. They sued me into civil court when I was running for governor of Tennessee. They sued me into civil court falsely. Got a false order against me for no legitimate reason. You've seen the people that did it, the Christian Coalition, Republican Christian Coalition, doing that out of churches, rogue churches. The church ought to be involved in spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ and promoting people that will allow them to do that for public office. So, and then they had me arrested while I was running for governor. Wow, that's the people in government power. And look, They care about foreigners, not Tennesseans. Protect yourself and all Tennesseans from rogue Tennessee injustices. Vote no in the re-election. They're up for re-election later. No to the Tennessee Supreme Court retention, and oust Governor High Bill Lee, who appoints them. That's what I ask, and I'll keep saying that. They refuse to give me my law license, so I've got this right here. See, we're on the bridge where they closed it down. I've got this right here without a license because of these rogue people. I applied to them to get my law license. They wouldn't give me a law license. They gave a law license to foreigners that aren't even registered for the draft, that don't have this from the United States. They got education from foreign countries that aren't similar to the University of Tennessee. And that's your Tennessee Supreme Court. Hello, ladies. So good morning. So yeah, and they took my job from me. Governor Lee is the one that took my job. Governor Haslam is the one that took my job over there at University of Tennessee, right there. Yeah, see, right there. Yeah, yeah, see that right there. And the billionaire that got his money by exploiting you. See that rogue judge right there? Ruled against me for him. See, she ruled against me for him. See how the power works? Ruled against me. When I was trying to get my job back, when they wrongly fired me, when I was completely sober, but they give people's job back that are drunk on the job, she ruled against me in favor of Stacey Heatherly. She said great stuff about the drunken monkey, wrinkled uniform, uneducated, unqualified, dangerous liar, Stacey Heatherly, that steals valor, criminal. She ruled and said good stuff about Stacey Heatherly, that's a major now, and ruled that I shouldn't get my job back, and I protected more people on the road than anybody. Why'd she do that for? You said she didn't have no right to do that. She's an unbiased judge. She wouldn't do that. Unbiased. Look how unbiased she is. Wife Chancellor, court unjustly judged McCoy. Despite facts, truth ruled in favor of Haslam, the governor, to get husband promoted to Supreme Court of Tennessee. Page. And I didn't capitalize his name on purpose. He doesn't deserve a husband of McCoy promoted to corrupt has-been to keep rulings in his favor. Page went on to lie to the people of Tennessee, saying he would be sworn in a few months, only to go and have it done immediately. That was to avoid public scrutiny of him and his wife. Charles Van Morgan. See, they rule for the governor in their rogue courtrooms, adjudicating false social orders of protection to sniper you, to sniper me, to discredit me, using their people to do dirty stuff to you. That's Haslam. Now, Haslam's a crook. This is the judge that did that. Let's go over this here. You got plenty of time. This judge did that. Morgan for Tennessee governor. That's when I ran in 2022. Unjust Judge Gregory McMillan. Now, I'm just discrediting them. I'm discrediting them with the truth. They discredited me with lies, stuff that's not true. They took somebody and tried to shoot me, shut me up. And I'm telling the truth about them. I'm not trying to say anything wrong or do anything behind their backs. I'm up close and personal. 250,000 people have been viewing this. Hopefully some more. If you like the message against corrupt people in power, you want your government, then like, spread, share, contribute. So another Tennessee dirty judge refused to allow me to answer questions defending myself against false allegations. You seen rewind the tape. Did he let me defend myself, or did he say, shut up? Your defense is not relevant. Pretty much, I've got my mind made up. I'm going to rule against you. And he did. And then an appeals court asked questions for people that weren't even there. If you want to have a hearing in court, you got to be there and ask questions. But they weren't there, didn't want to show their corrupt faces. Freddie Goodrich, Freddie Krueger. So the judge asked questions for them. So the judge is their defender. Yeah, isn't that amazing how that works out for them? A special prosecutor for corrupt judges like this. There needs to be. There needs to be. Corruptly rules to get orders of protection against taking gun rights away like water. Volunteer, donate, and get on the square lane. Fourth Circuit Court judge. He got elected into office using the Center City Republican Party. Wow, Christian at a church, so that he can persecute you. Okay. Keeps asking petitioner same question over and over until he gets a response he wants to order your guns away. Abuses his power using his position to insult people. Said I didn't know the law but had to get his law book out on numerous cases so he doesn't. If you want to keep your rights, vote him out and us in. Paid for and authorized by me. So yeah. So that's a rogue judge in Tennessee, and I could go into detail about how he locks people up using the sheriff's department to tamper with witnesses. That happened in his courtroom. I complained about that, and they said he did nothing wrong. Of course they won't. Here's another picture. Must be yellow teeth from smoking too much. Fourth Circuit Court judge. Yeah. Freddie Krueger, Republican campaigner, violent liar, deadbeat dad, whore hopper, hero of Tennessee judges. That's his hero. Because this judge ruled in his favor against me while I was running against his governor. Yeah. So tomorrow, we don't have time today, we're going to talk about the two attorneys. I don't have my law license. They have their law license in Tennessee that lied in court papers. That's against the professional responsibility to lie and to try to influence a court proceeding while you give false information to a court. That's against the professional responsibility. But they have their law license, and I don't. So we'll close this thing out. And I want to bring it back to what we started with. Charlie Kirk spent his entire life disparaging immigrants, disrespecting women, and blaming black folks, only to get shot in one of the widest places on the planet. This lady, Linda Marie Lindsay, said that about him. One down, the rest of the fascist magma freaks still standing will be dealt with after the nightmare is over, like Nazi Germany. Just get over it. Now, that's what they said about somebody that was speaking their mind, what they believed in a public forum in the United States of America. The method which it was done was horrific. That is so wrong for them to say that. He's got a right to his opinion and views, and to insinuate that it is a just thing for a sniper to insidiously in secret to shoot at them is sick and pathetic, and should not be tolerated in any free society. It's not a free society when you have to worry about what you say. There's people in our educational institutions that are promoting that we think it's okay for somebody to shoot you in the head from a distance insidiously. That makes us all unsafe. How dare you say stuff like that? I wouldn't even condone that for you. But look what the government does. Look what the people in government power do. Insidious. A form of sniperism. Look what they've tried to do to me. That's how dirty and crooked these people are. The same as the sick people. The sick man that shot Charlie Kirk. These sick people in government power have done that to me. Tried to shoot at me. Similar, insidious, sick, taking a sniper and trying to discredit me when it's a dirty lie. They're the liars, and I pointed it out with evidence. But they don't like me to present that evidence. That's the reason why they arrest me. They've got a bigger form than me. They can stand up and say Van Morgan's a liar, and they could have tried me before a jury when they arrested me. They didn't. But they lie. Now here's the one responsible for that. Trump released hundreds of drunk drivers, causing hundreds more people to get killed by pursuing a fake case. He pursued a fake case. There he is. I know where he lives too. There he is, Tracy Trotter. How you doing? Hey, Trotter, I'm still out here, boy. Why don't you apologize for the public for your disgrace, you disgusting person. got up on a building and sent people after me to shoot at me from a distance to discredit me. You're discredited. You're a disgusting, despicable human being. It's a disgrace to the human race. That's what I think about you, Tracy Trotz. I got that opinion. I got evidence to back it up. You took the leading trooper off the road pursuing a false, fake case. You dirty liar. Look at this. Here he is. Piece of shit. That's what he is. Look at it. Look at him. Yeah, in a uniform doing that stuff. Supposed to protect human life, protecting the power. And look at this right here. You think it's wrong for me to do that? 78 more deaths in Tennessee just the year that they fired me. This is 2012. It's went up 45% since then. 45%. More people are killed because of him. Because he took the leading trooper off the road. So I'm not being too harsh on him. I'm not being too harsh at all. WBIR, I've raised hell with them. The success of the unruly. That's me. The success of the unruly. That's when I was younger, just a few days ago. Yeah, so I'm not that old, am I? The success of the unruly. Yeah, I'm a little unruly, ain't I? Not in a criminal way, not in a civilly violent way. Look at this traffic backed up because they've closed the Gay Street Bridge down. Tomorrow we might meet at the Gay Street Bridge, closed down. So I want to thank WBIR TV. They probably won't like my message. They're afraid of it, but I'm a fan. They've done me right. See, I tell when they do people right. I raised hell with Channel 10, and now they're starting to give me good press. So, or they did. They gave me airtime. Thank you. And it's because I stood outside their channel and raised hell about some of the lies they told, and I got on the ballot, getting attention, and that worked. I was successful in my campaign. I got attention, which is good. And they're banning me on some channels. Video unavailable to some audiences. This is TikTok. Banned me from their channel. It's not YouTube. They haven't yet. Unsafe conduct. This post contains unsafe conduct themes as described in our content classification guide. There wasn't unsafe content themes. Unsafe content of themes is you say anything against people in government power, and they will kill you symbolically by discrediting you or taking your form away. The government's got more of a form than me. This is a man that people honor that shot a man in the back in New York City, shot the man over health care. That's not right to do that. It's not right to do that. That's wrong. He deserves no honor. He deserves to get electrocuted. He deserves to pay the full price of what he has done to murder somebody in broad daylight. That's not welcome in a free society. So we're going to get off here. They tried to discredit me over this incident. In a fire, Trooper Charles Van Morgan in harm's way trying to save a life. I'm not honorable or not credible. This is a Master of Arts in sociology. I know how the government works. They discredit people. This is one of the main people that's trying to discredit me, that lied about me. So let me tell you a little bit about her, Stacey Heatherly. I'm going to try to go about 2 hours today. Stacey Heatherly, sound of the glass on dealing with trauma and returning to duty. Now, she was involved in an incident where she got hit by a drunk driver. Isn't that poetic justice? She took me off the road by lying about me, recording me surreptitiously, taking what I said out of context, not telling me I was being recorded, where I didn't know that it would be played to the public and misunderstood. And people lied in court when they knew they were lying. And she got me fired even though I was leading the state in protecting people on the roadways. And because she took me off the road like a glutton, she endangered her own life being a sniper for the state and got hurt herself by a drunk driver that might not have been around had I been out on the road. So let me get a drink of water. So let me discredit her. Let me tell the truth about her. This is my favorite shirt. If you go online, you can see where I bought this shirt. This lady sold me this shirt that sells them. Real sweet lady. If you want to keep me on the bridge spreading the truth, donate. Had some people donate yesterday. God bless y'all. Thank you all. And also, like, share, and subscribe. We're almost to monetization level. And thank you all so much. Y'all are wonderful people. God bless you all for the most part. Some of the comments I don't appreciate. They'll go in one ear and out the other. They won't even go in the ear. I don't listen to a bunch of garbage. I don't mind if you say stuff, constructive criticism. But share the message. Like and share. Spread it. Tell your friends. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. We'll be back tomorrow morning. About 6 o'clock in the morning. We get more views, more subscribers, more attention. And let's discredit Major Stacy Heatherly. Now, I've got some more stuff in the future coming up about a major over the Highway Patrol that's responsible for public safety. Some stuff she's doing to violate the law, taking money. And we're going to show you some proof about her, some more stuff we've investigated and paid money to research, like a journalist would do, about the man the governor promoted. So look at this traffic, because I got the Gay Street Bridge closed. And we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all so very much for listening. While you're thinking about it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the donate button. Even $1 helps. We got $1 from somebody the other day. Thank you. That shows your support. If you can, give 100, give 500, give as much as you can. Help. We'll keep this on there. We're fighting against people in power in the government so that we, the government, can run things and stop the corruption. So Stacy Heatherly, and we're going to go about an hour today. Got about 3 minutes to go. Stacy Heatherly. Captain Stacy Heatherly is a 27-year veteran of the Tennessee Highway Patrol and currently the Knoxville District Captain. Now she's a major. She got promoted to major after I reported this for the Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Stacy was a lieutenant over the Knoxville District Dignitary Protection Unit 2019. How'd she get promoted? She was hobnobbing with the governor with additional dignitary protection over the 27-year career as lieutenant, sergeant, and trooper. Captain Heatherly's career. Read the last sentence. Credible sources say she didn't serve at all. She was career in the responsibility unit. That's a line unit that gets rid of good troopers. Captain Heatherly is a 20-year military veteran retired from the 278th, 1175th Tennessee Army National Guard. She never served a day. She never served a day in the military. That's a lie. Now she's promoted to major after we let the governor know. So what a dirtbag the governor is. That's what power is. They do whatever they want to in spite of the truth to help themselves. They want to make her credible and me not credible. But I never said I served in the military. I'm not a liar like her. Here's a Tennessee State Trooper insignia, women in law enforcement, which is disgusting for women in law enforcement. And that's how they sniper you. We'll be back on here tomorrow. See how long I've been on here. I'm losing people. God bless you all. Thank y'all very much. Join us tomorrow. We'll get more of this. Like, share, contribute. Let's see if we've been on here for an hour. So we like 1 second, 1 minute, and we'll be on here for an hour today. So we'll use this time to ask you to like, share, to contribute. Join us again tomorrow. And the theme today has been on how the government snipers us. And we're not gonna listen to what they say. We're gonna stand up for what's right anyway, and trust in the Lord. And if you're not a Christian, I would offer the gospel of Jesus Christ to you. Let me put this in my pocket, and we'll get the heck out of here and off here. And also ask you to join us tomorrow morning. In the meantime, God bless you all. And remember, see, okay, 3 seconds. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. Till tomorrow.